Welcome to the RC Roundtable podcast, where we discuss the latest RC hobby news, events, model reviews, and a whole lot more. Well, hello, fellow modelers. It's time for episode 221 of the RC Roundtable.
How long has it been? I'm like, a time. Has it been what, 2 weeks?
What's the kids say now? It's been a minute? Multiple dozens of thousands of minutes?
Yeah. It has been a while since we've been together.
It has.
It has. Well, you guys have been together, but I have not been together with you. So,
Okay,
so that means we've got,
now.
You've been there in spirit.
I'm sure.
Should we all be riding bicycles singing together again?
Yeah. Holding hands, skipping through a field of daisies.
Kumbaya.
All right. So because of that trip to Nall, which everybody knows that's where you were, I'm going to have a few questions for you.
Oh, figures.
Now, you guys already did that episode with the Plane Lab guys while you were at Nall, and so that answered a few of my questions, but not all of them. So I'll give you guys an opportunity to fill in the blanks here.
Yeah, there were some things we left out of that podcast. So
On purpose or accidentally?
accidentally on purpose.
Okay. Right. Well, first, this is episode, you said 221?
221.
So in my brain, I feel like if the number correlates with the model number of a famous airplane, we try to work that in. Are there any 221?
Great. I had to go look online.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on this one. So, all right. I'll just...
There's an Airbus 220.
Yeah. Well, if it doesn't smack you in the face, then it can't be that famous.
That's true. Maybe some prototype, something or another. That's it.
There's a book about a British Airways flight 221.
Oh, it probably didn't end well then.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Days of Terror. KU 221 and KU 422. Yeah. All right, let's not go there.
All right. Well, listeners, if you know of airplane with 221 in the number, send us a message. Let us know. We're stumped here.
Terry stumped.
Okay. Yeah, I'm stumped.
We didn't ask.
That's true. You didn't. All right. Well, let's move into the main stuff here. Now, I can ask you questions, or you can just start chatting about stuff. How do you want to go about this?
Open the floodgates. You ask the question, Fitz and I will ramble on for 20 more minutes.
Okay. So my first question, you guys did talk
Yes,
about
I flew better than Fitz.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was the question. I'm sorry. Continue, Terry.
So you guys did talk about this in the show, but not in the detail that I would have liked. So you mentioned that you did not aerotour, I guess piggyback glider flying off of a float plane. So
Yes.
You don't have to cover everything you talked about before, but give me the elevator pitch on what you did, and then kind of give some details on the flying aspect.
It'd vary between 0 and maybe 10 degrees.
All right. So what airplanes were you using?
Hey, Lee's popped up a picture for those listening. It is a twin timber, the E-Flight twin timber, Twimber, as I like to call it. And I made a custom cradle that's bolted to the top wing, which holds an ELF glider, a hand launch glider, a really nice, discus launch technically.
Is that an acronym or just the name?
Just the name, as far as I know. I don't think it's an acronym.
All right.
It's made in, I forgot, Czech Republic or Ukraine, one of those Eastern European countries.
All right.
No, I think it's Ukraine, right? Because we were talking about it's kind of unobtainium at the moment.
Oh.
So I did a video on it some years ago. It's a really, really cool, well built, well designed, beautiful looking hand launch glider. But I've never really been able to get it in the air for very long because I'm terrible at finding thermals.
How many hand grenades can it carry?
Oh,
Did I say that out loud? Oh,
you did.
probably taboo.
Not very many. So anyway, so I had planned on bringing it to Joe Nall to fly it over the electric area. And then Lee had the great idea, says, hey, if you're bringing it as floats, why not, fly it over the lake and launch it? And I thought, yeah,
because why not?
That's exactly where you find thermals, over water.
And that's okay, because Ron and Tom thought the same thing. Hey, we've got this EDF. I found some floats. Let's put these floats on the EDF and fly it off the water.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
I think we were slightly more successful than they were.
Slightly, yeah.
So where do we go with this? So, spoilers, it worked.
All right. Well, who was flying what to start with?
Well, we took turns, actually.
Okay.
So the first flight, Lee was flying a glider, and I was flying the float plane.
Well, let me ask this. Did you try any takeoffs with the mothership without the glider? Or did you just go all in and pilot up?
Strap it on, let's go.
Damn the torpedoes, man.
Full speed ahead.
Okay. All right, so who was the first mothership pilot?
I was.
Okay,
Fitz.
and Lee had the glider.
He had the glider, yep.
Okay, so go ahead.
Don't know where to start. Well, I took off uneventfully. We climbed up. At least Lee, you can take over.
I flew. Got it, I don't know, about 10 feet behind me, on the shore. We were just trying to make sure we didn't hit anybody, but people were watching. People were enjoying the show. And everybody was like, y'all are going to do what? And that glider flies so well. I mean, it is just, it's grams, not ounces. It's just so lightweight. Yeah. And it was so easy to fly. So kudos to Fitz in assembling it together so well, and the design. But here's the best part. I mean, really, we were successful. We had fun. People smiled and laughed. And then it was my turn to fly the Twinbird. Mr. Elevator Pitch. I mean, this thing, oh boy, Fitz goes, you need to add a little elevator when you're flying this thing. Holy smokes. I was like, come on, baby, stay on. It was way pitchier, way more pitchy than I think he led it to be. And we got some good altitude. I released, and darn it, if Fitz didn't fly a 6-minute flight, bringing that sucker down. He caught two amazing thermals, one right over the lake, and then when he was coming to land right over people, like near that tent, he was still climbing. I mean, it was still, and he got another couple turns. Oh, I forgot the best part. Near the ridge that leads down to Electric, he was riding the ridge where the ambulance was, and he was there for a couple of seconds and then having fun. And yeah, it was a lot of good.
Yeah, it was the longest flight I've ever had with the Elf glider.
So some guy was smoking a cigar, and you caught the thermal off of that?
Yeah, I was amazed. Yeah, I eat those words. There was good thermal activity over the lake.
It was great.
So how dramatic is the release?
Actually, we had one semi-dramatic release, right? When one side didn't release quite soon enough, it stuck there for a couple of seconds before.
I think there was a third flight, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a third flight. I think you did 2 and I did 1, right?
Right.
I think that's what it was. And so on one, I think the second one, it's rubber bands that hold it on. There's little pins on a servo that pull together that release the bands. And I guess one of the bands was a little bit sticky on that little pin, and it took it a second to pop off. A couple of seconds. We're like, you gonna come off?
It was almost sideways. There was a little bit of an angle there, and then she popped off.
Right.
Yeah, but Lee mentioned earlier that cradle does give it some quirkiness to the flying, especially in the elevator trim. Without the cradle, it flies fine, but with the cradle, it's the trims between the glider on and glider off are drastically different.
Oh, so even the cradle without the plane, without the glider, makes the Twinbird fly different?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
But it's even worse with the glider. But yeah, it's handleable. But it's you're as soon as you release a glider, you realize, oh wow, my trim just went way out of whack. But it's down trim, if I remember correctly. So it doesn't go up into a stall. It just kind of pitches down quite a bit. So
you could set up flight modes or something like that with the release
I could.
switch.
Just been lazy. Just haven't got around to it.
All right.
But
So do you have to do any sort of special flight path, like a parabola for the release to keep from colliding on the release?
No, just pops off. We got.
I probably cut throttle and went down just by habit for doing it in the past. But no, it popped off pretty well.
I should note that the release mechanism is linked to the flaps. So you take off with the flaps down, and to release, because I ran out of channels on the receiver. It's built into the plane, so I had no extra channels. So I said, well, I'll just Y off for the flaps. So to release, you just click full up flaps, retractor flaps, and it pops off.
Ah,
And, so,
interesting.
and that probably helps a little bit too, getting some of the lift out of the main wing, main plane.
Okay. That's pretty interesting. A clever idea, and even if it was last minute and kind of improvised. But yeah, it was cool. Now, was there any video of this supposed activity?
Yeah. Phil Tallman recorded some video, so I have it. I don't have it here. I don't think I posted it on our page, but if I get to it, I'll add it to our Facebook page on up there.
Okay.
That's cool, because I haven't seen that either, so it'd be neat to see that.
And where's our Facebook page? It's right here with our new photo.
Oh, we changed the photo.
Yeah. All right, that's cool.
The
Nice
Red
little-
Bull, that's the
Cub Crafters.
Carbon Cub from Horizon. The big
super
one, really
super
big one.
duper Cub. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really nice. But yeah, go to our RC Roundtable Facebook page, folks, and we have some other photos that are in there. You got a link to our latest podcast and this questionable dongle thing that
Did you guys
Terry
see that?
found it quite amusing.
Yeah.
And then but this was a cool. I don't know if you can see the whole thing.
The
no,
Volks plane or whatever they called it.
yeah, of course I knew I was going to get an ad. Just stupid YouTube. But yeah, the big Volts plane, I saw it flying, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. So any more? Go ahead, Fitz.
No, I'm done.
I was going to ask if there's any more to cover on the glider stuff. Something I didn't think to ask you. Here's what I just remembered to ask you. When you guys released, whoever was flying the tow ship, did you just dive down and land to watch the glider, or did you stay up? How did all that work?
Now I came down immediately.
Okay.
I pretty much did the same thing.
All right.
I might have done a couple laps and then landed just to watch.
And landing with the Twimber on floats, no big deal.
Oh, it's nice, great. The nice thing about the Twin Bird is it's got differential thrust, so
Right.
it turns on a dime no matter what the wind is doing.
And it's not too sensitive with that differential thrust
it
on
wasn't.
floats. All right. Good.
No, even though my differential thrust is actually cranked up from the stock, it was
Yes.
fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you guys drag racing a boat there?
Fitz was loitering around my Twin Otter. He was going around and creating wakes. He was just a nuisance. But no, it was fun.
I was policing the pond with my boat.
Yeah, that's it. And then I flew my Catalina, which had never been off of water before. I've always just done fun touch and goes on grass, but it flew amazingly well. So I was really glad it was my last minute tossing in the trailer.
Yeah, it did great out of water.
Yeah,
I just
so-
love this picture of Fitz in the golf cart with the Twimber strapped to the roof.
Yeah.
So go back to your Catalina.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily have to talk about it here, but I'm going to have questions about your Catalina because I have one of those that I picked up from probably Facebook Marketplace a little while ago, and it originally had geared brushed motors and NICADs. I don't think this one was ever finished, but it does look like the same paint scheme as yours, which makes me think it's the same brand as yours, which Guan Li or something like that. So I'm going to just have questions about how you finished yours. There's the video I watched of it. Looks like it flies off the lake really well.
It did. I was pleasantly surprised. Because the what do you call it? The pontoons, the wingtip pontoons. Is that correct?
Yeah.
They're not glued or attached very well. There's a lot of strong support there. So they've broken off before, just not from hitting the grass, but just hanger rash or something. So I've put a lot of expanding foam around the fillet areas to try to just give it more grip.
Yeah.
And so I was really concerned that if the tip went into the water, it was going to rip one off, and then I'd be stuck going down. So the good news is, with enough power, and she was up on the wing really quick, had enough aileron authority. She was great, and I did maybe 2 touch and goes just out of curiosity. Still worried about those pontoons popping off, but no, it was great. In the landing, I was very happy.
Now, was yours brushed when you got it?
Nope, it was just a kit. It was just the kit only, so it had no electronics.
Okay. But did it have those stick motor mounts? Like the old
You
GPS
know
planes?
what? It may have, and I think I made my own custom plywood circle radial mounts.
Okay. So, yeah, mine has the sticks, and I'm utilizing those, but yeah, I'm just trying to determine if yours is the same as mine.
Wow, sticks
Well-
like for what the GWS use?
Yeah,
Stand by.
The 10 millimeter basswood, which are 3/8 basswood.
What is this Lee has in his studio? So, yeah, I made some really nice, you can't see them in the camera, and I'm not going to go through that, but I made some really nice custom plywood radial mounts
Okay.
in there. So I don't remember it all, but I must have done a bang-up job because they're true and they're nice and straight, and they did the job. So, and also, Terry, I want to say what adds, what I would highly recommend, because I think I got this tip from Wally, who sold it to me, was that these were well known to collect water, and mine did, actually, which I'm guessing it came from the top canopy area because it's right on top. There's no lip or anything protecting it. But I fiberglassed the bottom of mine, and it's really smooth, so it's got gloss white. So I did a real thin layer of fiberglass on the entire bottom, and I think that probably helps and probably need that strength, not to mention just protection.
Right. Are you using the wing struts?
Yep.
Okay.
I think I made one different. I changed the connector. So this one uses metal clips versus the little plastic ones they have.
Okay. Well, mine
I am
didn't come.
using...
Mine doesn't have the struts with it, so I was going to have to fab some. But I was thinking it wouldn't be metal because I'm worried that it would rust. Are they just clevises?
Aluminum.
Yeah, just clevises.
Huh. You ever seen an aluminum clevis, Fitz?
Oh, clevises. I'm sorry.
And I do like this
I think
little
it's just
feature.
struts.
I made this so it folds down. This is the top to access the screws, and then I put magnets on the lid so that when you push it back up, click. It covers
Aren't
it
you
up.
clever? All right. So, yeah, I'll
It's
definitely
very
have questions
clever.
for you.
So here, look, this is me posing with my plane. It's two Lees. I do enjoy flying this, and when I first got it, I didn't put differential thrust.
Can you make your screen bigger? Because you're itty
I
bitty.
can. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's push me. Yeah, let's put little Lee down there and put big Lee. Of course, I gotta grab everything. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, yours is in much better shape than mine. Mine, I don't think was ever finished, but the partial assembly they did with hot glue and not very well. So I've spent most of my time so far pulling away old hot glue, which means I'm also pulling away paint. But
So who made this again?
Guan Li, Guan-Li. So, yeah, maybe it's the same as some other factory in China. I don't know, but and it's not EPO foam or EPP.
No,
it's
styrofoam.
beaded styrofoam,
Oh,
which is
okay.
probably good. I mean, it's lightweight. That's a very hollow fuselage. It's two halves, two clamshells that are glued
Yeah,
together.
it's very light.
Yeah.
And she does. She flies really well. I wouldn't fly her in high winds, and I'm running GWS 9.5 props on 221213, 1000 kV.
Wow, big props. You ever thought putting three bladers on there? Some smaller three bladers?
I'm very content, Fitz. Thank you for asking.
I just think for looks, it would look cool.
Yeah.
But it
right.
flies better.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing those details, and there may be more to come as I get mine closer to finished. Now, the next question: more multi-engine planes. This time, I'm looking at you, Fitz, right there. You guys talked about a Constellation that ended up in the trailer on the way home, and if I understand, it's now in your workshop, Fitz.
Yes, it is.
All right. Can you
It's like-
talk a little more about it now?
Right there. Sorry, I can't move it. I had to move it off the table. Sure. Where do you want to start?
Well, how big is it, and what's it made of, and what are you going to
big
do with it?
I measured. It's 84 inches wingspan.
Okay, so giant scale.
Yeah, it's giant scale, and the fuselage is about as long. I'm looking at it, and they're like the same length. It's as long as it is wide. It's got all three tails have servos on them, so it's got triple rudders, which is really cool.
Really?
Yeah. It's really, really nice. Retractable landing gear. It's got 4 motors in it. Yeah, there's a picture of Lee showing up. So this is, is that Bill? No.
Joe.
Joe picked it up. He doesn't know the origins of it. He picked it up already built.
Okay.
All he knows that it was scratch built, but nobody knows what plans they are. They might be, I think we speculated on whoever makes Constellation. I don't know if it's Don Smith or somebody might make some plans.
Does it seem to have been designed for electric power?
This one was, yes.
Okay.
The best I could tell. At least whoever built it intended it to be electric.
Right. Okay.
There's no evidence of ever being glow or anything. It's really nice. As I was working on it, I was kind of worried about I first thought the cowls were glued on, but they're held on by magnets, so they kind of pop right off, which is real nice. So Joe had one good flight with it. That's the video we're showing now. I'm flying around, and it did a good job and came in and landed it. And then I was off somewhere else, and I heard that he did another flight, and he took off, went to raise the landing gear, and basically had a brownout and lost almost all control of it. He says he had flipped the landing gear back down. I think it was in the process of going back down when it impacted the ground, and banged up the landing gear pretty good, knocked one of the engine motors off, and some other cosmetic damage. So he decided that he wasn't inclined or even had the time to repair it. So he offered it to me for a price I couldn't refuse. And so now it's in my workshop, and I've actually spent the past a few days last week repairing it, and it is now back in flying condition. I have not flown it yet, but it is ready to go. Yeah.
Man, look at you. You're a Superman.
Yeah, I've got, I showed you the picture. I got the new props on it, and the retracts have been repaired. And what else?
Did you put a better receiver battery in it?
Yes, it's gonna have a lot better receiver battery in it.
Well,
yeah,
because we should explain that.
Yes, we took this
PSA.
He had I think a 5-cell nickel metal hydride in there. I'm pretty sure it was 5 cells.
4,200 milliamp.
4,200 milliamp. And what was the voltage we measured? Like 2 volts.
3.2.
3.2 volts. Yeah, it was deader than dead. And so,
and as soon as the gear came down, that voltage dropped even further.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a chicken and egg thing. Because Fitz, I think you told me the gear was kind of sticky, or one of them was.
Yes, one of the main gears was a bit sticky. It was like no clearance when the wheels retract into there's like a second firewall bulkhead, and one of the gears I was testing it actually stalled and stopped. So I had to go in and kind of cut out some extra space within the wheel wells for the wheels. So he may have had a latent issue he wasn't aware of, where the gear was coming up and stalling and causing an excessive current drain on the batteries.
Good point.
Yeah. But if it's still low voltage at rest, that battery is probably on its way out anyway.
Yeah.
Does it need to be that big for ballast? Like, what kind of batteries does this thing need, and where do they go?
No, in fact, most of the batteries are pretty near the CG.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he didn't really need that big of a battery. So I'm going to maintain a separate battery, but I'm just going to use a small, I think a LiFePO is what I was testing.
A LiFePO? Lithium iron polymer. All right.
Phosphate. PO is phosphate, but it's actually a lithium iron. What's the F?
An FITZ battery.
Lithium iron. Okay. So anyways, so yeah, something small. It doesn't really need a lot.
Did you say LaFitz? LaFitz battery. I like it. Let's market that.
So sorry I can't pull it out. It's over here. It's really cumbersome to move around the garage in the workshop. Right. But it was neat kind of getting it back up and running. It's got flaps. It looks really cool. It's a really neat looking plane.
It is. And we were surprised on how well the wing survived. It's very clean build.
It's very clean. There's still a little bit of cosmetic damage I haven't gotten around to fixing. There's a nick in the wing I haven't fixed, and there's a little bit of a chunk out of one of the nacelles on the bottom. You can't really see it unless you're flying directly overhead. It's just cosmetic, nothing structural. But it was kind of neat taking it apart, and it looks to be fairly well engineered, actually. I was able to get in. It was all the number 3 and 4 engines were reverse direction. And I had a whole, like I mentioned to you, I had problems finding replacement props. It's using these three-bladed GWS props that apparently are really hard to find now. And through some great sleuthing with Terry there, you found these props I got from Horizon. What are they? For one of the planes, I got an extra one in the bag here. I just forgot what was on it. It's there we go. It's an E-flite. Oh, E-flite 3-bladed propeller. I don't know what it's for. Maybe one of the E-flite planes.
Or a Wildcat.
Trojan? Yeah, it might be a Trojan. Wildcat.
I think it's a Trojan.
They're semi-scale looking. They've got what looks like the mechanism for the adjustable pitch on them for the real plane. And there were 9.7 props. And they were going to be replacing the 10.6 props that were on there. So this is one of the ones that I took off. So they're pretty close to size, a little more pitch, a little less diameter, so they should be just fine. I did a current measurement to right at, I think 30 amps per motor.
Okay, good.
And then they're 35 amp speed controller, so that's about as much as I can get out of them.
Yeah.
So it was really great to come back. Our traveling buddy Mike Liable was a little worried about having another big plane sharing spaces with his, but we think everything was out okay.
All right. All right, so what flight battery are you using?
I'm going to use two 3S4000s. I believe that's what he was using.
Okay.
And that should be fine. Those fit in there. And
Do you think you'll split the motors like inboard and outboard?
oh, I should mention, yes, that's what they did. There's only two battery connectors that are wide off to two speed controllers. And whoever did this, I think, did a pretty clever thing, is that one speed controller controls the two inner motors, and one speed controller controls the two outer motors. So motors 1 and 4 on one controller, and 2 and 3 are another controller.
Well, you're looking. He means Y adapter, Terry. You're thinking one speed controller. There are four speed controllers, but two are tied to one connector.
Right.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I saw Terry's eyes glistening over, going, "You don't want to put them on one speed controller."
So you only need two batteries to run it.
Okay.
Two ply batteries.
Right.
But I like that in case if you fry. Well, if you lose a battery, I guess you don't have asymmetrical thrust.
Right.
Technically, you can still fry a controller, but at least there's one less issue to have if you have a battery, a bad connection, or something. But anyways, or you got a low voltage cutout. So yeah, I don't know what else other than thanks, Joe. It was great hanging out with you guys, and
the Rhode Island gang, they're awesome.
The Rhode Island gang, yes.
They fed us, they talked to us, they admitted our existence.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, thank you too, buddy. You were helpful. He helped. I don't want to say he saved us a space because that's not what you're supposed to do. But I just happened to get my trailer right next to his.
Yes.
And that was prime real estate right there, guys. That was excellent. Not because of the mud, but just because of the convenience. And I will say, adding to that. Excuse me, if I do say I did my good deed of the day, I think Fitz, you were there, but on the day we were leaving, this guy drove up and he had a flat tire.
Ooh.
And I said, well, do you need help with that? And he goes, well, I need to get air in the tire. I said, I could help you because I brought my Ryobi air pump. Now, that being said, it worked because he wasn't there. And he said, yeah, I'm going to go fix my tire and go take it. But was it 2 days ago when I used it to put air in my bike? It was grinding. He must have just had it on for 15 minutes. I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's probably a little more hot than it was meant to be. So I've had it for a while, so I'm not mad. Maybe I can disassemble it and oil it up, but it was grinding pretty hard.
So that reminded me, speaking of good deeds, that somebody didn't mention to you, I didn't mention this, Lee, but...
Oh, see, we saved something for you, Terry.
Yeah, I did several acts of good deeds. Because I had the golf cart for a good chunk of the time. Our most valuable player is a golf cart.
He did. It was Fitz's cart. We should have put labels on it.
Yes, the Fitz Rider.
Well, the Fitz Funmobile.
I was driving down, a lot of times I was like in sort of a stretch of road where there wasn't anything nearby, and I'd see somebody walking. And I would stop the golf cart and say, hey, you need a ride somewhere? And
hey, good looking, you going my way?
Well, it was interesting because, it was like, I think one time it was an older couple, and they were really thankful. They said, yeah, we really could use a ride up to the main line or something like that. I said, yeah, hop in. It wasn't a problem. And it happened again. I was driving, and it was near the lake, I think, later in the afternoon, so there wasn't much going on, and it was there was this guy, I think it was before the lake, it was further down. There was this guy walking. I said, man, you're not really near anything. Let me stop. I said, hey, do you want to ride? And the guy with his nice German accent says, yes, just if you're going up that way. And it turns out he was going almost near the entrance. He was going way up. I think I was taking a golf cart back for parking, I think. So I was going up that way anyway, so it wasn't a problem. He was like, you can just drop me off here. I was like, no, I'm still going up. And we had a nice chat. He was talking about, he was visiting here in America. And he lived in America, but he was from Germany, and he was talking about we were just talking about some nice things. And so it was a real nice feeling to give some people a lift, because it's, as you know, Joe Knock, it's pretty huge.
Right.
And so just to save people a little bit of a walk was a big deal to a lot.
I say it every time I sit on with the RC Plane Lab. The golf cart was the best advice I ever got.
Yeah.
Joyce was absolutely right. That thing, and I used it a lot too. In fact, one of the stories I mentioned, I think in RC Plane Lab, was taking one of our employees, Lucas, down all the way to 3D, letting him experience everything, and then stopping at Electric for a while, letting him see that.
Yeah.
So he got a much better understanding of what all the variety of hobbies exist out there. So yeah, that golf cart is great. And we got through the flood. I don't know if I told you. I don't know if you went down there after like on Wednesday or Thursday, but the one of the turns was just completely engulfed in water.
I heard about it. Yeah.
So we just plowed right through.
With an electric golf cart?
We did.
It's low voltage. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right. So what you're saying is hitchhiking is encouraged at Joe Nall.
Show a little skin.
You just reminded me of a story. It's loosely airplane related. I think it was the father of, I believe it was, no, it may not have been Bong. One of the P-38 pilots, I think. No, one of the World War II pilots, very famous one. Either Bong or...
McGuire?
McGuire?
No, not McGuire. One at Pacific Theater.
Pappy Boyington?
He
No.
didn't fly P-38s, did he? No.
No.
Did he say it was only P-38?
Somebody who lost it. No, it wasn't Bong. It was
10
crap.
minutes later.
Yeah.
Some pilot, continue.
A very famous World War II pilot, ace pilot. He lost his father because his father was driving an old car, Model T, whatever, through in a rainstorm, and it got stuck in some water. And when he stepped out, he didn't know that a power pole had also fallen into that puddle of water, and he got electrocuted.
Oh,
this is a horrible story.
Johnson,
I'm here.
the P-47 pilot.
It might have been I think it was P-47 pilot, but it was.
Yeah.
But it was. So it wasn't Bong. It was. I forgot his name. Anyways.
I'm not going to type in Google P-47 pilot father died electricity.
But he's like, everybody would know his name. He's like a super ace. He was like one of the top aces of World War II.
And we're not doing it. So everybody's screaming at us right now. Thanks a lot, Fitz. Please scream at Fitz. Don't scream at me.
Oh, let's go to something. Well, one last thing. We've talked about the water. I had forgotten my socks. And so after the first day or two, my feet were getting pretty raw. So we had to stop and get some socks. Because
you had to have that CVS stop in this
CVS
podcast.
stop for socks, yeah. So remember, kids, bring your socks.
Oh, my God.
Hey,
All right, we'll
Fitz,
go to something more.
was it Robin Olds?
No.
Okay. Because I remember, I've read that story that you're talking about, but I've read so many aviation books, I can't remember which pilot that's attributed to.
Yeah.
So, again, those of you listening, screaming at us through your radio, let us know which person fits.
Is this recently?
No. World War II.
Okay, it happened during World War II.
No, pre-World War II. He was still a kid
Okay.
before he was a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Joe
something happened.
Foss.
Was it
gosh.
Foss? It might have been Foss.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
am not looking this up on
I think it
Google.
was Foss, as a matter of fact.
All right. By the way, if that is him, that's an interesting book.
And this is what happens when we don't
He
stick to
later
our list.
became governor of South Dakota.
Yeah, it was him. That was Foss. It was Foss.
Helped start the NFL.
Yeah,
okay.
he did everything.
All right, so that was Joe Foss.
This guy needs a movie or a miniseries or something. Yeah, that was him.
We say it here. It's going to come out on Netflix in
He
2
started a
months.
children's hospital too.
Oh, did he? Okay.
How about a happier news? We didn't talk about the F-16 XL, did we?
Oh, right.
the other
You
podcast, did we?
finished that to take there. All right, so
Yes, we did.
I've got questions, but yeah, talk about your F-16.
All right, so Lee generously printed out a nice little, what was it, 50 millimeter-ish?
50.
Yeah, 50 millimeter EDF, 3D printed F-16 XL, because I'm a big XL aficionado. And he brought it over and says, here are the pieces, make plane. So glued the piece together, bought a motor and the fan unit and stuff like that. And so we went out and test flew it at Joe Nall. And it was sporting,
Yeah?
but it flew.
By the way, it was a great hand toss. Just want to say, if you ever need a plane launched, I'm 9 out of 10 times I've got it nailed in, man. But it flies like a rocket. I mean, it was fast. I don't think he had it ever.
fast.
It was never under 50.
It's fast and small
and white and white against the white. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was actually looking at Fitz because he had it really high one time. I was like, "Can you see out that other eye?" He goes, "I can see something moving."
It was a couple of times I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get this thing back or not, but I got it back and ended up flying it 2 or 3 times. So it's flown. There is an issue with the servos. I think the servos I use are really cheap, and because it needs so little control throws on it, especially in roll, that servos don't have the fidelity. And so there's some hysteresis going on with the servos. So I have an idea. I might be able to fix that with some geometry changes to the controls, but that's why I only flew it a couple of times. I was like, yeah, this thing is just, I couldn't get the trims quite set right in the roll.
Right.
So, but that's not the plane's fault. It's just electronics. But it flew pretty good. Like I said, it's a speedy little sucker. And when it landed on the grass, it would slide for another mile. But
You did. You actually went like all the way down to the horizon tent.
yeah, I was like, I'm going to stop.
But you weren't the only one. There were a couple other guys just hitting the grass there, and it just kept going.
Yeah.
And there's a hill, Terry. There's a drop off, and some planes just slid down that hill. So there are people in chairs watching. And you're like, okay, heads up, it's coming your way.
Yeah, I think from the wind direction, when you land it, you're just going slightly downhill. So that doesn't help. Oh, speaking of 3D planes, I've decided that if somebody asks me to fly their parasite plane, like a belly launched, like an X1 or something like that, I'm just not going to do it.
Really?
Because I am 0-2.
Yeah. What was the other one you did?
So I tried to do the X15, I think it was.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, from
just-
Jason Hill's B-52.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And so I had another opportunity. Oh, there's a picture of me with F6XL. See, I put some black stripes on the wings, but they didn't really help much.
Yeah.
But I will try to paint it. So it's up here hanging up.
Yeah, that's like an apparition. There's not a whole lot of contrast there.
Yeah. So Lee, what was the other Rhode Island guy with the 3D printed?
Oh gosh. It starts with is it Tim? Tom?
Tim? I think it's Tim.
Yeah. Tim, Ted,
it's Tim.
Tom. What are those? He's a T guy. God darn it.
So we had a
Teddy.
we had a really neat project. It was a 3D printed cruise missile with folding wings.
Oh, yeah, I've seen one of those.
And it was really cool. And it was like, who wants to fly it? And they're like, I'll do it. That sounds really cool. Yeah. And so he lifted it with, I forgot what plane he used. It was nothing special. But
Big T-28?
I honestly don't remember what he lifted it with. I thought it was a high wing something.
Okay, the one I saw was dropped from a T-28. But
it
regardless.
might have been a T-28, but it was just some generic plane off the shelf.
Okay.
I have it here, Fitz. Hold on. So you can, for those watching, he can give a little bit more detail.
There it is. So this is all 3D printed. It's got a little EDF in there, probably another 50 mil or 40 mil. It's got tailorons. There's nothing on the wings themselves. And it has scissor wings, so they scissor into the fuselage. And oh yeah, it's got a video. Okay, great. And so there's like I think an arming, I think it's rubber band or spring loaded. And so you swing them in, and then there's a release button on the transmitter to pop it out. So he can pop it off the plane, then pop the wings out just like that, and you can turn on the motor, and off you go.
Okay.
I said, well, that sounds pretty cool. I'd like to try that. So we go up, and he says, when it pops off, wait about a second, then pop the wings out. I said, okay. So we go up, I don't know, maybe 500 feet. He releases, I wait a second, I pop the wings out, and it proceeds to just sort of corkscrew itself into the ground.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what the? And he said, yeah, well, when they were doing it, it also had a high failure rate. So so I felt kind of bad because it did damage it. But he said, it's no big deal. I'll just print another one. I think it was repairable in the field, but he didn't seem inclined to repair it. He said, whatever. And it was funny because I did that before I flew the F-16XL. And so after I flew the F-16XL, it's like, oh yeah, he really can fly.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't very big. It's pretty small.
Yeah.
But it's neat. I was always tempted to build one myself. But
All right.
I think I was looking at some of my other things. I kept running into Brian Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
again this
Or
year.
or he kept running into you.
He kept bringing it to me. Yes, that guy's a character. And I think we've already talked about everything else. So go ahead, Terry. What do you? Oh, wait a minute. The mower attack. Did we talk about the mower attack? Lee?
You go
What was it
ahead.
flying?
It was your story, not mine.
I'm trying to remember what I was flying. What did I fly? Oh, I think it was the Habu. I had landed my Habu.
Yeah, it was the Habu.
Yeah, and there was a guy on one of those giant mowers, just kind of mowing the grass around. And I landed, and as I was about to taxi back, he comes closer and closer and closer. I start taxiing back. He's chasing me down with the giant lawnmower for a few seconds before pulling off. I was like, "You do see me, don't you?" But yeah, he was
It's
messing.
bright yellow.
Yeah.
All right, so that reminds me, you crashed your Habu, or it came apart
It
midair.
came apart in the air. Yeah,
Excessive G-forces, or
yeah, it's over there in pieces. Yeah,
or below minimum glue, whatever.
yeah, below glue.
So, did you scavenge the electronics for some future project?
Yeah, well, everything was. Well, the fan unit, it got destroyed, but
Oh, that's too bad.
I took the receiver out and put it in something, and that seems to be working fine.
Okay.
And it's still got the servos and stuff. I haven't really scavenged it per se, other than taking the receiver out to use it. But yeah, that's what my plans are, to pull stuff out of it, and repurpose it.
Okay. So you're not on the hunt for a new Habu or old Habu.
No, but
But if you found
somebody
one,
may have mentioned that they had a Habu.
No. Dang.
Somebody we know, we can talk it offline, but somebody we know sent me a message that says, "Hey, look what I got new in a box."
It's good to be Fitz.
Yeah.
It's good to be
Ooh,
Fitz.
bastard. So, but that's as far as we've gone. We haven't talked any type of monies or anything like that yet.
Gotcha.
But anyways,
okay, so you're still interested in that design? Would you?
it's a great design. The flew great. It was fast. It was nice.
Okay, so you mentioned that it didn't have much glue where the spar goes in. Now,
Yeah.
Would that have been a factory glue joint, or whoever assembled the airplane?
I think that's an assemble. I meant to go double check the manual, but I misplaced it. I don't know where it is, but I'm pretty sure that was not a factory thing. I think that was a spot where the spar is slid in and glued. But I meant to double check. It's a good question, though. I had thought about that, and just when I couldn't find a manual, I went off to something else.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, sorry for your loss.
Well, yeah, it was fun in front of an audience, in front of the battery guys, because he was really interested in seeing it fly.
All right.
And like I said, he had just put his camera down. He was videotaping it,
Oh no.
and he said, "Oh, it looked like you were flying nicely." So I put the camera down, and that's
You should have told him it was too much power for your Habu.
yes, too much power. Couldn't handle it. No, guys are putting 12 cells in these things, so that was mild compared to some of the craziness some of these guys do with these things.
So did it kill the battery that was in there?
It killed one of the batteries. The other one, I think, is salvageable. It's got a bit of a flesh wound, but
That's
it
what you
hasn't
want to
gone
hear with
thermal
a big old lipo, isn't it? I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You can go to thermal runaway or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll burn my
I
house.
discharged it, so we'll see. And that was the first flight of those stupid batteries. I just got those batteries.
Oh,
First
man.
flight. It's like, damn it, didn't get to enjoy them.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, they were cheap, but that's why I wasn't too thrilled about throwing them away. So I think that's it. We can mention the bait boat.
Oh, yeah. You brought that
Another
back.
thing I came home with.
Okay.
I think the same thing you had, Terry, right? I think so. You had something similar.
Well, that's the big one. There were 3 of them that we were given, and Ron was given one, and it sounds like it's been passed to you, Ron from
Yes.
RC Plane Lab.
It's now in my possession. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did talk about them on one of our shows when I had them all here. So there was a large, a medium, and a small. I've still got the medium and the small that I need to throw in the pond out back since it's thawed out.
Yeah,
You've got
mine's
the
pretty
extra super duper.
It's big. Yeah.
You could probably sit on it.
It's a weight of a boat anchor, too.
Yeah, it's huge, but it's growing on me.
Yeah,
Strangely enough,
It needs LEDs. It needs lights. It needs lasers and
it's kind
flags.
of neat. I was poking around with it, and it's kind of neat. Some of the way it's built and stuff. It has a FPV camera on it. It's kind of just dangling there.
It's not a toy. This is a machine made for work.
Yeah. I told Jeff about it. He goes, "Hey, I like to go fishing. Well, we can try it."
What's
My dad can try it.
what's the power source for this particular boat?
It's got EC3 connectors on
I
it.
think it originally had small lead acid 12-volt batteries. But when I got it, I believe it had 3-cell, like 5000s in it. But they were
That's about
DOA.
right. Okay. So yeah, I got some 3-cell batteries.
So what is the motor?
There's some sort of big brush
Yeah.
motor.
I didn't see the motor. It was covered.
Can they handle more than 12?
Probably. I don't know. It's got some proprietary speed control stuff in it too. So I would think all these components are made to work together. But
Because I'm sure
Yeah.
Fitz is dying to put a 4, 6, 8 cell in there.
Well, we'll see. What's neat though is there's, I don't know about yours, Terry, but mine has cooling fans in it.
I'd have to look. Maybe it does.
Yeah, I noticed it has some cooling fans and it's neat how the top part is hinged.
Oh yeah, it's like a clamshell. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's pretty heavy and it's got that little Bombay door thing in it.
Yeah.
Wait till
nobody
Fitz
knows-
gets my shipping fee.
Right. Yeah. People listening have no idea what we're talking about. So maybe once we get these things running, we'll have another feature on them. Once
It's right
figure
here.
out
I
what
can
to
pick
do
it
with
up
them.
and show you.
Could. Go ahead. Can you pick it up? Don't hurt yourself.
So if I get a hernia, do you know why?
I picked it up twice, Fitz. Come on, don't be a baby. I put it in the Suburban. I took it out of the Suburban.
There it is.
Hold on, let me give you a big screen here.
You got a shark's mouth on it. That's pretty neat.
Ron must have added that because that wasn't on it when I had it.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah.
So little shrouded impellers there, and he added all that stuff.
The other stickers, the windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, they're pretty neat. They look like that. They came with it. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, good job,
It's
Ron.
a catamaran kind of thing. Oh.
Yeah, and then the middle drops away. The point is, if I remember all
see
the
it.
stuff we talked about before, over in Europe, where carp fishing is a big thing, they load that up with whatever you use to chum for carp, and then they get out to where they want it, and that little trap door drops away, and
There you
out
go.
goes your chum.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the bumper sticker?
We break for nobody.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, I gotta put it down. It's heavy.
So there has got to be a killer app for that boat in our little hobby world. We just got to figure out what it is. Is it a carrier for UMX planes with an angled flight deck? Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Put a big flight deck on it or something. Huh?
Is it a rescue boat? Maybe.
Oh,
it a-
yeah. Rescue other boats.
Is it a battering ram? Could be.
Of course, this thing is like a James Bond rescue boat. You just go over to the other boat, suck it up into the inside.
Maybe you could use it to drop the little floats for the races.
I thought about
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Buoys.
Yeah. The buoys.
The buoys, yeah.
All right. So more to come on that. Anything else on your list there, Fitz?
No, the only thing is a reference to Lee's name. We'll leave that for later, unless you want to talk about it.
Oh.
Lee.
I'm ready to do it now.
So Lee's doppelganger.
Well, you guys did talk about this on the last show, but whatever. If you want to talk about it again.
No, I will add this, though. So the gentleman who I'm referencing in this videotaped me flying at the electric flight line.
Huh,
And
nice.
boy, the dragonfly is really growing on me. I'm glad I saved it from the death it received, was the semi-death. I'm not dead. I'm feeling better when Austin drove it into a tree. And I just patched it together, and I've flown it at best. And the thing it's a lot of fun. And along with the PBY, I had never flown it on water before. And our friend Jeff Lee was there with his Dragonfly version 2. And so we put him on the water, and man, it loves it. It loves the water. Now, it is difficult to turn because there's no drop-down rudder. And there's no differential thrust. Maybe I can do that pivot, but darn it, it was really fun. So anyway, I got this video from a guy named Saul, and he has a YouTube channel, which I'm going to bring up here right now. So if you guys haven't seen it already, it's called Plain Fun RC. Do y'all see that?
Got it?
And he did a whole bunch of videos at Joe Nall. And he was also at Warbirds and Classics in Fredericksburg. But I highly encourage you guys to go check it out. This guy's got a passion for, capturing airplanes. And he seems to have a good time. And he somewhat looks like me. Because if you look here, this is him being interviewed by Jim at RC Groups. And I don't know if I can do my best Saul face here. You can see me in the screen. Is it like this? Is it like this?
Yeah, there's some resemblance there.
So a guy at Joe Nall came up to me and said, "Hey, Saul, how you doing?" And I had no idea. Went right over my head. I had no idea what he was talking about. And then someone at the and then at the restaurant. That's right. So anyway, that's my doppelganger, and he's a very nice guy, very happy, very uppity. I mean, he's got coffee in him, man. That guy is.
So Lee, what do you think uppity means?
Happy?
No.
Cheery?
No.
No, it's got a more negative connotation.
Like conceited. Better than
really?
you. Yeah.
Oh, I never use it that way.
So, yeah, I didn't think you meant that about him. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, down here in Texas, I don't use it that way. Uppity a good thing. It's happy. No, he's a very nice guy, Saul Levin. And, he's busy. If you look at all these videos he's posted.
Yeah.
I think he sounds like a 30s radio announcer.
He does.
1930s.
Yeah. So go to the RCG videos channel on YouTube and watch the interview.
All right. Cool. All right. So my next
Terry.
question.
What you got?
So you guys have been there, what, twice now?
3 times.
Or 3 times.
Uno,
Right.
dos, tres.
So does
Sandes,
does your education continue? Do you have something based on your experience this year that you want to make sure you do differently or the same the next time you go?
The first thing that came to mind was they moved the food. So Fitz and I were walking, going, "Wasn't it here? Wasn't the food here?"
Yeah,
moved my
they were trying to
cheese.
hide it or something.
They did. They moved it way back. We got to it. It's always good. And boy, I tell you, I told the guy who was, this is home cooking, man. I tell you, this was all good. I know that you were Mike was on the fried chicken kick, right?
Yeah, he loved it.
He was all fried chicken. He's like, anytime he was in there, it was fried chicken. But man, this guy who's serving food had white rice and gravy. And it was, if you've ever seen the movie Ratatouille, and you've seen the end where the guy's eating the ratatouille and his past comes before him, it flashes before his eyes and his heart wells up, that was me. I was putting that in my mouth. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm back in Mississippi, with my aunt's house, and it was so good. So kudos to the folks that were serving food. That's one thing to go to Joe Nall for, is make sure you go back there and enjoy the food. But it was just not in the right place.
And the ice cream.
I think ice cream. Oh, the ice cream was good too. Did you have grits? Did they have grits there when you were Fitz? What was it that you had the first day?
What did I have the first day?
They had hamburgers. Oh, anyway, sorry. Food. I got all. Food was
Good
good,
question. I don't remember.
but it was good, right?
It was good. Yeah. It was very
Okay,
good.
all good. All right. Sorry about that. What would we do different? Is that where you were trying to lead us?
The
Terry?
same or different? I think the gist of the question is, what have you learned? What to do, what to avoid?
Bring socks and extra shoes.
Well, I was going to say also that bring galoshes.
Yeah. Plan for mud.
Plan for
Plan
mud
for
just
mud.
in case it rains.
And now that you've stayed off-site and on-site, is there a clear winner there for you?
I don't know. They both have their advantages and disadvantages.
We talked about that on RC Plane Lab. There's a benefit to being able to stay up late and fly, but man, you get tired and you want to get to bed. And I mean, at least this old guy does. But there's some really nice benefits. It was so muddy, and the muddy was not really flowery smelling. It was nice. It was great to get back to the hotel and take a long shower and get in a comfortable bed and close your eyes and sleep with air conditioning.
All right.
Yeah, it's true.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right.
And we had breakfast in the morning at the hotel, which wasn't too bad, and had nice chats. That was good, just nice and relaxing conversations.
All right.
And by the way, our GPS sent us a new way to Triple Tree every time.
Oh.
He has a randomizer.
Every time. Let's go this road. Let's go this way. Let's go give him a look over here. Never had any problems getting there.
All
Back.
right. I saw some post the other day, maybe it was on Facebook, about some bridge around there. It's one of the
Yeah.
main paths ends that they're thinking about shutting down.
Well, I shared it because we're friends with Triple Tree, and they're concerned it's going to cause them grief because we don't know what they need the road for their services. But we never took that access road. So it comes from the south. And so really it's only if you're driving from the south, well, not even from the south. How do I say this? Just in a different section. Okay. So and it is a road that will lead you all the way back up to the road that we would turn on from the hotel. So it would be a problem. And so, yes, there's some people saying, well, if the bridge collapsed, why do they need to spend all the money? Or isn't there another way? I don't know. But it seems to me that they need the bridge back. Triple Tree needs the bridge back to do maintenance.
All right.
Interesting. Yeah, I should note that it looks like they're doing more field improvements in various places. There's a couple of spots we know as they widen the road within Triple Tree. It looks like they're going to be building another building. They had a sign there saying future site of something. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, where the restaurant was, they're going to have maybe a gazebo or a new sitting or a permanent restaurant area.
All right.
Yeah, and they mentioned there was walking trails. They may have already been there, but I don't remember hearing about that. But they're doing something down at the far end near the 3D line, near the river. I forgot they were doing something, but
Yeah, that's what that area right there was what took out the bridge.
Oh, okay, so yeah, they may be trying to make some improvements down there. So that is interesting that they're looking at some additional improvements from the last time we were there.
I didn't see the photo online, but I did see it when we were at the education building. They had an aerial photo of when the south end was flooded after the hurricane. And that water went all the way up to the buildings at 3D. So you can imagine every one of those campsites was underwater.
Crazy.
Can you give us another insight of what maybe you want to touch on, Terry? Because I feel like we've kind of danced around your question. Like anything different? Do we do anything different?
Well, what firm opinions do you have now?
About Joe Nall?
Yeah. Like, I know next time I go, I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do this.
I'm taking Terry Dunn with me.
Okay.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Terry
That's
Dunn,
always
you
asking
have
about
to
you.
go to Joe Nall. It's enough now. We're coming we've already paid for our trip to NEAT, where Fitz and I will find a plane and get there. But you have now got to go to Joe Nall, excuse me.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, it didn't really appeal to me for a long time because I'm not naturally in favor of crowds. And everybody talks about how many people are there. So it just never sounded like my cup of tea. But the more you talk about it and the more the Plain Live guys talk about it, and basically anybody who ever talks about Joe Nall to me only has good things to say. So
Yeah, it's pretty spread out. So, like, if you hang out at the electric line, it never really felt overcrowded at the electric line. It could get busy, but it wasn't like it never felt, debilitating or what do you want to call it. If you're agoraphobic, I don't think you have too much of a problem.
Yeah, and I figure a million people can't be wrong. So
Yeah, and then the seaplane was also a great spot to hang out too.
yeah, and regardless, a bad week at an RC event is still a pretty good week. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tack onto that, what you just said, Terry, because even though we showed up and it was rainy Monday and Tuesday, I never felt like I was having a bad time at all. I mean, yes, I complained. It was getting mud all over everything. It was pretty nasty. But no, we did. We got to talk to a lot of people, hang out, just talk, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and people were flying, so it's still stuff to watch.
Crazy people
Even
flying.
between rain squats, people pop out with something.
all right,
And then
Now,
3D guys were just flying, inside the shelter.
yeah, inside their
Gazebo.
RV.
Yeah, those guys are crazy. Well, go ahead.
So there's a new release, and I can't remember if it came out during or after, or maybe even before Joe Nall, but E-Flight has a small B2. Were there any of those there that you got to see in person?
No, that came out. I was warned that it was coming, but I was sworn to secrecy. But yeah, it came out. But it was only like a couple days later.
Yeah. For those who are wondering, Fitz does not give Lee or I any of the inside gossip. We are as
Well,
in
I
the
can't.
dark. Yeah, you can. It's us. So
But yeah, the little B2 with 250 mils in it? 240s?
oh, now you act like you don't know.
I can't remember what it was. But I should have mentioned, though, I had some great conversation with the E-Flight guys. It was fast. We talked life, liberty, and the pursuit of modeling.
Yeah. All
And
right.
tariffs.
And tariffs,
Talk about
yeah.
tariffs, model design, really finicky customers.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a fascinating. Maybe we should get Mr. Merkel on our show sometime. Maybe he might talk about some of that stuff because there was just some really neat stuff that things that we wouldn't think of that they have to deal with as a manufacturer and distributor.
Right.
For example, there was a particular plane that just did not sell until they changed the color, and then it sold like hotcakes.
Really?
Yes. All they did was change the paint scheme.
That's funny.
And so, yeah, we just said it's just modelers can be finicky people.
No, we had a good chat with them. You and I did at Oshkosh last year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
In the tent there. Yeah.
That's where we met. What's his name too? Was there full-scale pilot?
Draco guy.
Yeah, Draco guy.
Oh, man. Yeah. Come on, Lee. Help us out. All right. Everybody else. Who are we thinking of? Yeah, anyway.
What the hell's his name?
Super nice guy.
Draco.
Yes, he is a nice guy. I can't believe I forgot his...
It was awesome. He was talking to me about gliders and stuff.
Yeah, down to earth. Yeah, I think he came up to you, as a matter of fact.
Jason introduced him to me.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Patey.
Just kind of hit
That's
it
it,
off.
Mike Patey,
Mike
yeah.
Patey, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I know we talked about that before.
But anyway, so it was just, so that's kind of a neat thing about Joe Nall is being able to, there's a lot of manufacturers and all kinds of people show up. And so you never know who you're going to start talking to and what they do. I start talking to this guy and he's like, oh yeah, I'm a full-scale pilot in South America and I also build these jets for people and I do this and that. Or, you talk to a manufacturer, you can talk to just people from all over the world. It's really neat.
Yeah. All right. And if I understand correctly, you were recognized by your adoring fans more times than you could count.
Yeah, for the first time, I actually lost count of how many people recognized me.
It was a lot.
It was, I was amazed. I can't believe that happened. Fortunately, I had a lot of stickers to give out. So,
Wait, what stickers were you giving out?
Hobby View.
Stickers. Well, because nobody has any Rousey Roundtable stickers anymore. I gave out all the ones I had. I did my job.
All right, well,
I am going to interject, though, and tell the story about the one guy. Fitz was with me, so this is true. We're in the golf cart, and this guy goes, hey! and I'm sure Fitz was thinking, it was like the guy was from, he goes, not you, Lee! I'll cherish that, man. That was awesome. It was funny. I wanted to get out and shake his hand, but we were on a roll, so.
You got no respect.
It was so funny.
So, if anybody of those people that recognize me listening, I really appreciate it. I'm honored and humbled that you'd actually spend any of your precious time watching my junk I put on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. And side note, let's get some more RC Roundtable stickers. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it so.
I've got some here.
And shirts and hats and mugs and RC Plane Lab is doing us no good with all their paraphernalia. So we got to
all our swag.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah. We should have shirts by now.
Yeah.
All three of our fans will take them.
Yeah, we need some RC Roundtable matching sports shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
Racing shirts.
All right, so there's one more question, and it's not actually my question. I'm the keeper of the emails, typically, and I, on purpose, have not forwarded this message to you guys.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Like if we're not checking email.
I wanted a real-time reaction from you guys to see what you think.
Oh,
and strangely enough, I had the same thought myself, and maybe even we've talked about it on the show before, but without any preamble here.
Doesn't have any foul language, does it?
It might, and your response, we'll see. So I saw, and this person saw, several posts talking about maidening plane XYZ at Joe Nall. And some of them were big airplanes. And so my understanding was you're not supposed to maiden a model at an event because, what if it's not airworthy? And what if you have a problem? It's better to not have crowds around that you could potentially injure. So, A, did that stuff really happen? B, are there rules against it? I didn't see anything.
Absolutely happened.
Okay,
and the proof in that is Horizon was selling planes and telling people to go fly them right there.
Oh,
Happen all the time.
okay.
That counts.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
guess
Maiden.
that
They bought a
counts.
brand new plane they've never flown before. I don't care if it has Safer or AS3X. They're
Happens
taking
a
them right
lot.
there and flying them.
Yeah,
This is the
that's
electric line. It happened a lot.
A
yeah,
lot.
that's a variation I wasn't necessarily considering. I'm thinking scratch built stuff that
Okay.
doesn't necessarily. But yeah, you're right. That also qualifies. It's very easy to get a servo backwards and plow it into the ground on the maiden flight. So I guess the question is there an official rule against that? I looked in the AMA safety code and didn't see anything, but I thought
So,
there was something in
I was
writing.
going to say the same thing. At one time I heard there was a rule, but then I heard that no, there is no rule against that.
There's no safety guideline that I know of, but I believe it is when it deals with an event, a sanctioned event. So I'd have to look at that. Now, there could be exceptions to that rule. So you're asking the guy who works the AMA, but I don't sanction events, so it doesn't come to mind if that is the rule or not. It's something I've heard that you shouldn't maiden planes, or very questionable ones. But there are times, just FYI, there are times when I have announced a plane I haven't flown before, such as, and Fitz will laugh with me here, but when we had our electric hubs, and I don't think he flew his before best, and I didn't fly mine before best, and we flew them together at best. We told everybody these are experimental planes, and we flew them solo. Yeah, and so we flew them without anybody else in the air.
Yeah.
So and we announced it. So I think maybe that's the ruling. If you announce a plane that's first flight or maiden.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be Mr. Super Safety Nazi here or anything, but it was just a curiosity that I thought it was just generally accepted. You're not supposed to do that, but apparently it's one of those rules that's not heavily enforced, if it's an actual rule at all. Let's figure that out. And as we talk about it, you made your F-16 XL there, right? So
Yeah, that's kind of more of a scratch build.
yeah. So all right, so I think we're looking for feedback from the listeners. What do you think about that? Is it a nonsense rule? Is it something that should be enforced more often?
Well, here's the question for you. Would you be angrier if someone threw a plane or launched a plane and it went crazy and crashed and they did not announce that it was a maiden versus them announcing it and crashing it? I think I'd be more upset. I don't mean to be a hypocrite, but I think I'd be more angry if someone was on the runway and they took off this big plane and it was going erratic and it crashed and they go, yeah, I hadn't flown this before. I mean, if I hear someone saying I haven't flown this, guess where my plane's going to be? On the ground, and guess where I'm going to be? Further back.
Yeah.
Cowering behind the car.
I'm just saying, I'm probably going to be prepared. I'm going to keep my head on a swivel and make sure.
That's a good point. As a courtesy to everybody else, say, hey, this is the first time I'm flying this thing.
I just got into the hobby. I bought this iX20.
What's this button do?
I'm not sure I recognize that distinction of saying, hey, this is a maiden flight, just because I picture myself at an event like Best, where I'm in the canopy 75% of the time. So somebody on the flight line might make that announcement. I'm not going to hear it, but if it ends up plowing through my canopy anyway, what's the difference?
Okay. It is an interesting topic.
So, again, I'm not taking a strong position on either side. I'm just
How
curious.
did you feel about building planes at Neat and then flying them?
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I'm not slinging arrows here.
Hey, Fitz, could you do me a favor and do that again? Because I want to get the zoom on that for Terry. Look right down at him right there. I'm talking to you, Terry. Oh, it was there. Hold on, there it is. Do it one more time. All right, sorry about that.
All right. Let me say I'm guilty of it too. So that's furthering my point that I'm not really taking sides here. Although I would say if it's an extra big plane that you scratch built and there's more variables involved, it seems like the further you get away from an off-the-shelf proven design, the more prudent it is to flight test it first. But I don't know. I can be swayed in either direction probably. So that's the question.
I thought most modelers are very conscious. So if a plane starts going wonky, a lot of people will say, look out, heads up. Oh my God, I'm going to die.
Except when Fitz almost got hit by a B-17.
That's true. That happened real quick. But I wasn't
But, right, that's one that had
wasn't a
flown. Yeah, so there's any number of reasons a plane could crash. And
You too, Lee. You almost got taken out by a 262, right?
oh, yeah.
I did.
That
Oh my God, that was scary. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And of course, there's the SAE event, which like every plane is basically
yeah.
might as well be a maiden.
Fitz, that's a great entry right there. They were supposed to test it, but we've seen them rebuild planes there. They've built new parts.
Yeah.
What does they call it? The ship of Thesis.
Yeah.
How much of the plane is the original plane?
That one, piece of wood and duct tape.
I would say that event is a particular exception to all of that.
So, then please share that with the reader or the person, the listener, or whatever. Share them that if you want to know about maiden planes, there's this fun show to go to.
Yeah, let's say imagine making a plane that you don't even know the controls have been checked or are in the right direction.
Well, here's the key: the kids bring the plane saying they flew. The pilot who's been hired, at that location has never flown it.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so it's like a game show, really. All right, let's see what plane you have, Bob.
And some of the planes are literally held together by duct tape and bubble gum.
Yeah. So there's a lot of potential variations on this theme. So let's just throw that question out there for the whole listening audience. Is there a strong position on this? What do you think about it? Have you had a bad experience because someone didn't?
And we have to specify a maiden at an event.
At an event, specifically.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I'd be interested to hear the feedback we get on this, and if there are any strong opinions about it. So, and Lee, if you don't mind, with your resources, see if there is actually a written rule that says "thou shalt not." Not that we're looking to, throw anybody in the slammer, but because we know that Fitz and I are guilty.
Great. And me.
Oh, you too? Okay, so we're all guilty.
I've brought stuff to maiden. Yeah. Like the best flyer, I think, was one of them.
Yeah.
Remember we built it that night? Or you rebuilt it one night, but yeah.
No, that was the low winger. What was that?
Oh, oh my God, the little spacewalker I tried to build?
Yeah. But that best flyer was a great airplane.
I still have it.
Nice.
So somebody once told me, I just remembered, they thought the rules, whatever rules they thought they saw, was you can maiden an event, but not during the normal operating hours of an event.
Oh, well, to me, that's outside of the event. But
yeah. So, it's kind of splitting hairs. But
well, if you end the event at 3, then anything after that. And maybe the time is, the event starts at 9. So you get up early and you fly it, right?
But my perception is people just don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, see, the trick here is what you do is you say the time for the event is 12 to 12:01. Anything before or after that, you're free to do whatever you want.
You should have a maiden hour at the events. Everybody's a maiden hour.
Everybody maidens at the same time. We're going to get 8 maidens up at the same time. Wait, we're going to add a little trick here. Everybody change transmitters. Guess which plane you're flying.
Oh, what have I started?
Oh gosh, could you imagine? It's so terrible. You put 8 Aero Scouts up in a line. You randomize the transmitters. You hand them all. You all say at the same time, throttle up, and they have to take off. They have to take off, do a circuit, and land.
Well,
I like that. I like that idea.
You have to sprint to the pilot boxes first.
You have to be next to there you go.
Sprint to pilot box, pick up a random transmitter.
Or like dodgeball, the transmitters are in a pile, and you have to run and grab one, and then. Okay, we should stop.
It's like Survivor now.
I think we're the only ones enjoying this anymore.
Okay, no, because now we're getting other clubs' ideas.
Yeah.
We heard this great idea on RC Roundtable. We're going to try it at our next meeting.
Yeah.
Who here's got an Aero Scout, a new in box?
So any credibility we had safety-wise is just shot right now.
It's a fun hobby, damn it.
It is, and safe. So I have no more Nall questions nor topics to bring up, controversial things to bring up. So can we put a bow on the Joe Nall experience for 2025?
Well, we can. We'll just offer this to our listeners on RC Roundtable. If you have other questions, if you've never been, and you want to know stuff, I think we can say we've now, after going 3 times, we have some knowledge of the event. It's worth every penny. It's worth the trip. You got to do it at least once. And again, any specific questions like what can you bring, where's there electricity, yada, 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 we'll be happy to answer those questions.
All right. Now, while we're talking about events, the next time any of us are going to meet up, well, you guys meet up all the time, but the next travel planned is Lee and I are going to see each other in Muncie, right? Is that the next
July.
one?
Yeah.
In July. So have we talked about this on the show yet?
I thought you did briefly.
Maybe. All right. Well, we'll bring it up again. So Lee and I are going to be covering a few of the Nats events, the AMA Nats, the Nationals. And there's outdoor events. Last weekend was the Indoor Free Flight Nationals in Tennessee. And in the summer, they have the Outdoor Nationals, which is a whole handful of different events. Some RC, some control line, all different categories. I've never been. And Lee, you were there a year or two ago and actually participated. But we're going to be there for 1 week of this, which will overlap several of the different events.
No, 1.5. Come on, be honest. We're going to be there around a little bit. No.
8 days.
What day
I'm
are
gonna be
you
there.
leaving?
The 15th.
Oh, I'm leaving the 16th. Well, at least that's the day I was going to leave, but okay.
Okay, well, we can talk about it. There's no events on the 16th, so yeah, that's okay.
But we can fly. We have the field to ourselves. We have IAC to ourselves.
That's a good point. Okay, so yeah, let's figure that
And
out.
I have another story to tell you offline that we might be doing, so
Okay, fine.
that's private stuff that I won't tell Fitz either.
Fine, be that way.
So the gist of the story is Lee and I are going to be covering as much as we can these events at Nats for the AMA has Nats News, which is kind of a daily blog of what's going on there. So we're going to be doing that. And I think probably some social media videos and other things, Lee.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
We're going
okay.
to hopefully do some live stuff if possible.
Yeah, so
I
I'm
don't know if
looking
that'll
forward to
work.
it. I've always wanted to see what goes on there and some of the categories I've never watched, like Control Line Combat. I've seen them do a few things out at where's the RC field?
Scobie?
Scobie. Yeah. They've got the control line circle out next to it, and you hear the screaming banshees sometimes, and they're over there doing combat or racing. So I'm interested to see some of that stuff at Nats and RC scale and all sorts of stuff that I think is going to be really cool to see and kind of dive into and get the nitty gritty about. And so any of you listening, come out and watch, participate, whatever. We're going to be there.
Terry, have you ever had a microphone in your hand?
You mean for those social media posts and things like that? I think probably not.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put one in your hand. We're going to do some shows for people.
Oh, I take that back. I think I did the interview with Matt Chapman when we were at the AMA
That's
Expo.
right, yeah. We did a joint interview.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, you and I, yeah.
Yeah, I don't claim any skill in that, so I'll just bash my way through it, and we'll get something. I'm no Fitz.
Neither am I.
All right, so I'm looking forward to that, and we're talking. What did we say? July 7th through the 16th is
So the
when we'll
7th.
be there.
Okay, so you see the helicopter stuff then, too. I just saw it.
Is it?
Yeah, it stops at the 9th.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, there you
6
go.
to 9, it looked like it said.
All right, so that'll be neat to see.
Hopefully we'll have a golf cart. You should make sure you ask for one. Or at least use the John Deere tractor. That one's fun. It's one of those little gator things, but
All right,
get us around.
Speaking of, and you're probably going to roll your eyes at me, but I was out at my club field today doing some mowing, and this is the first time I've mowed the whole field, but we have a zero-turn mower. That thing is so much fun to drive.
It's like a tank.
Well, it's like a very maneuverable tank, but sucker's fast and maneuverable, and yeah, I had a good time. Now, when I first got on it, I was weaving all over the place till I kind of got the feel for it, but holy cow. You just go zipping down, and then you get to the end, you just spin around, you just zip back the other way.
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. So I had a good time. And so my original intent was to mow the runway. Then I ended up mowing the parking lot and other stuff. And
You couldn't stop, huh?
mowed the street. Mowed the ditches. But yeah, that was fun. I might have to do that more often. All right. Anything else for gnats or whatnot?
Well, I'm hoping Saturday I will be heading down to Bomber Field for the Warbird event. Fitz,
Oh,
are
yeah,
you
he says
going?
Warbird. I am going, yes.
So this is giant scale. September's B-17?
Any Warbird.
Any size,
Okay.
any Warbird, yeah.
All right, but not the B-17 event.
No, just the
No,
any
that's
Warbird.
September.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like right after Neat. It's like a week after Neat. We got a 1 week to a break, and then we have Best following right after that.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
to sober up.
Sober up.
Lots of Ben Gay. Yeah.
So, all right, well, that'll be fun. Are you flying or just watching?
I'm going to bring the P-38 because it's still in the trailer. And so I figured I'd take the trailer.
Which P-38?
Oh, my flight line.
Okay.
I didn't finish the other one. I haven't had time, and I'm just going to do my little moping conversation here. My AC still doesn't work in my workshop. You guys have, if you've been with
man.
me a long time, you know the horrors I've had. My other one is out, and it's crazy, and I had a call today, and it still looks like it's going to be out for a while, so I just can't. Painting and air conditioners are my arch enemy.
So do your 3D printed planes look like Salvador Dali paintings now?
Did I tell you what happened to one of my planes? I sent you the picture,
No.
right? I sent you all the picture. The red and... Yeah, didn't I send you a picture of the red and... I'm going to send it to you guys right now because I thought for sure I sent you guys this photo. I left the what do you call it? The FAXX plane in my car.
Oh, that stealthy looking 3D printed plane?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sending you the picture, and then you guys can make your faces right now. I thought for sure I sent you the photo.
I don't remember.
Maybe I just sent it to Paul, the guy who made it for me. But
Oh, man. What happened?
it was only in my car for a day, and it completely melted. And then even worse, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Fitz, but the PLA just became extremely brittle. Like everything just crunched in my hand and fell apart.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that
Wow.
that was a no-go. I was able to save all the components, so I'll put it in another plane.
Oh, you didn't fly like that?
It was deteriorating. It was crazy. It's like
Oh, more
just
fun.
easily. Yeah, I mean, if I threw it, it would have just left the motor back here.
It went from a grape to a raisin.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, PSA: don't leave your 3D printed plane in the car.
No.
That
If you
being
live
said,
in Texas.
that being
to the
said,
south.
we have here. It's way back there, so I'm not kidding. But ColorFab now makes a lightweight PLA HT high temp. So I'm not saying it would cure this problem being stuck in a car, but Austin just printed a Cub in olive drab lightweight PLA HT, which looks really cool. And he's going to paint it with D-Day stripes, and we're going to take it to go flying.
All right.
It's pretty cool. And it flies great. We flew it, was it last weekend? Yeah, we flew it last weekend. Sucker is probably the best flying 3D printed plane we've had.
All right. Good
Very
to know.
impressive.
All right. Have you heat tested it yet?
Well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'll leave it out in the patio. I'm just kidding. I don't want to mess up his plane. In fact, just so you guys know, well, forget Fitz. Just so you know, Terry, he wants me to pack it for Muncie so we can bring it to AirVenture.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we get a little flight time on it just to make sure it flies okay.
Yeah, just in case.
Which, by the way, I think I told you this, but I'll share this with our listeners. If you haven't been to AirVenture, please put that on your bucket list because we do evening flying at Pioneer Runway. It is a blast. All three of us have been there. All three of us have done instructing for friends. There are some really cool planes that fly. But this year, Terry, Kyle Jarris is giving us a lot of planes for us to work on at the IAC to make sure they're all prepared for AirVenture. Because you know the snafu we had last time. Transmitters not matching, no labels.
Oh, right.
So, but we're adding a few extra planes that might be more advanced. So I think we're going to add a 300, extra 300 foamy and an apprentice. So if we have those people who are a little bit more advanced than an Aero Scout, we will give them access to those as well.
Yeah, because I remember I had a few kids come up and like, I know how to fly. And so
I'm looking at Terry's face. I'm not sure if he's happy about this or he's like, you want to put fire in the hands of these
can't
kids?
decide. Am I supposed to buddy box with these people?
Yes, these will be buddy boxed. What?
All right. We could talk
Wait, you don't
about
think you can fly them?
No, it's not that. It's it's introducing a lot of variables. So
Yeah.
But you have to admit, I had a guy who came from like Spain or something, across the country. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm a competing pilot over here, and he's doing the Aero Scout inverted." He says, "I got this. Just turn off that button. I got it." And I was like, I was really wanting to give him another plane just so I could see his skills. So,
Well, I probably talked about this some, but the pilots who could already fly were, to me, the most challenging ones. Now, some of them would come up pretend like they didn't know how to fly and think they were going to impress me with how quickly they caught on and could do things. And,
so this is the topic. This is the debate, right?
right. And invariably, they would try showing off and do dumb things. And so I finally got to the point where I said, I'm not turning off safe. If you can fly, great. I believe you. But my job here today is to give introductory flights to people. You're welcome to fly the plane, but safe is staying on because too many close calls.
Gotcha. Well, but we could just designate you at one point just for those experienced pilots, people who had flown before. Remember, we had a couple of kids who were flying and they were catching on real quick, and they wanted to expand the envelope. So anyway, so
I was going to say I wouldn't want to discourage anybody who knows how to fly from flying with us, but you don't need to impress me. That's all. So we'll figure out something with these new planes. We'll make sure everybody has a good time, whether they have their own planes.
Get our label maker, cable ties, whatever we need to do to identify them so they match and work. And they're charged, all that jazz. So we will put those in my trailer. We will take them to AirVenture, and then after the flying, we will put them in the AMA trailer to bring home. But I'm hoping that those of you who are listening, hopefully that some of you will come out and fly with us or hang with us. Come check it out.
All right, and Fitz, I gather, is not going to be there this year.
Sorry.
Don't let that stop you from coming to AirVenture and flying with us. We're fun too.
Well, neat.
Yeah, but we'll miss you there, Fitz. We always have a good time, even like during the day.
We are 1 degree from Fitz, okay? So just you can touch us and know that.
Sorry. To be honest, July is actually looking to be really busy at work for me and stuff. So sorry.
No, I get it. But I'll point out, I had a really good time walking around the air show with you last year and checking things out. So
did I. Nothing on you guys. I really wish I could be there, but I got to choose my battles, so to speak.
Yeah. So we've talked about it a couple times already, but the three of us will be at the Northeast Electric Aircraft Technology Fair, the NEAT Fair, in New York in September. So that's a good destination too.
When's the last time all three of us were together? Was it AirVenture?
AirVenture.
Last AirVenture, yeah.
Okay. So
that came after the AMA Fly, right?
So last year.
Yeah, so
twice last year. So.
That's right. Good to see Terry. I get a lot of Terry this year. In July, we get to go to Green. I get to spend a day or two with Terry flying at his field. I'm excited.
All the Terrys.
So have you thought about this? We're getting together for the Nats in early July, staying together all the way through the end of July for Oshkosh. That's 3 weeks together.
Oh, man, you're going to kill each other.
It'll be wonderful. Do you know how many weeks I have with Fitz? You got to catch up.
Terry, where's Lee?
Lee who? So, this will be a test. But a test I look forward to.
I'm sure I'll be staying in the basement like Ray's going to leave me. Shut up down there. Don't touch my stuff.
This padlock wasn't here yesterday. All right, but we're going to have fun. We'll have fun in Muncie. We'll have fun in Oshkosh. We'll have fun in my place.
Okay, so hopefully, I'm just going to announce for the next podcast. Hopefully, I'll do a show and tell with photos from the Warbird event. So look for that in our next show.
All right, cool. All right, well, you guys might already know this, but I've got a rescue story that is ready to tell. I just need two jokers to tell it to. So maybe the next couple of days we can get back on this computer.
Ron and Tom.
Ron Tom.
No.
We had our thing with Ron and Tom. It's your turn.
Hey, I've had a show with them too.
That's right. You've had
first,
but we've had more.
You probably have. So my point is, I'm announcing it to everybody, so you can't wiggle out of it. Let's have a rescue soon. I think you'll enjoy this one. It's interesting.
Well, is it rescue? Was it to wrap up? So can we do one recording and wrap it up?
Yes. It's ready for the conclusion.
Then let's make that part of the second show too.
Just make it part of
Part of the next show. So we'll more birds and we'll follow up with the rescue and tell people all about it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Whatever.
No. What you said.
Yes.
It'll be great.
That's it. It's perfect. Yes. It's a great show. We know what we're doing. Fitz, take us out.
Hey, what's on your shirt, Fitz?
I don't remember. Oh, it's can you see what the hell is on it?
I can see from your nipples up is all I get.
I'm trying to remember what it is. Oh, okay. It is a mixture of cars from various TV and science fiction shows.
Oh, okay. I see the Eagle 5
Making a plane, maybe?
So it looks like the 18 van, the Ghostbusters Echo 1, Speed Racer, Mad Max, Optimus Prime from Transformers.
Is that Spaceballs?
Yeah, the Eagle 5.
This one might be the Spaceballs, I think.
Yeah, it is. Let's just say it is.
No, this might be the RV from Stripes.
Oh, yeah.
That crazy thing.
Spaceballs is...
Optimus Prime. The
Stripes
Tumbler
isn't
from
science fiction.
Yeah, this is better.
Tumbler from Batman, and this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van. Hey, I recognize them all. Look at that.
All right. Well, just an observation. Without any pre-coordinated planning, we all wore gray shirts.
Oh, yeah. It's Gray Shirt Day.
We're practically the same person.
Brothers from other mothers or whatever.
Yeah.
Or same mothers. I don't know. All right. On that note, I think it's time we wrap this up because we're going off the deep end here.
Yeah.
So that wraps up another fun-filled episode of the RC Roundtable. What's our usual stuff here? Comments. Please like and subscribe. If you're listening to this, please like and give us a feedback. If you're watching, subscribe on YouTube at RC Roundtable, Facebook at RC Roundtable, and Spotify, podcasts, the other usual things. If you're just watching this, you can listen to us on your car, earpods, whatever, airplane, if you're not willing to watch us on YouTube because of our ugly mugs. Of course, send all comments to contact@rcroundtable.com. What is that, Terry?
I just, as you go through all this, popped in my head, there is no video for episode 220 because you did it with the Plane Lab guys and they don't do video. So if you only watch us on YouTube and you're wondering what the heck happened to episode 220, well, it's audio only because of the collaboration.
Yeah, we didn't have really a video set up for that. So that was an extraordinary case. That's not the usual thing.
Yeah.
Anything else I forgot? I think that's it, right?
It's good.
So,
we asked a few questions during the show, so type out your thoughts.
And go ahead and give us your grief when we couldn't name the pilot and the plane and Mike Patey. Tell us how loud you screamed at us.
Yeah. You scream from 1 to 10. All right, well, thanks everybody for listening and watching. Lee, you got something? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No, just thanking everybody for staying with us for so long. 8+ something years. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been amazing. We haven't gone diva yet, and this is a fun experiment that continues to go.
One of us has gone diva.
Diva. All right, then. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching, and we will see you later.
Please visit our website at rcroundtable.com. That's where you will find all of our podcast episodes. You can also find a little bit of background information about the show host and leave comments and suggestions about the show. There are links to a few of our favorite vendors and also links to our various social media accounts. Thank you for watching and listening.